Nothing to see here, just a car casually flipped over on the side of the road. I guess. Wow. Hello boys and girls, AEW Freak 1127 here, and this is part 2 of the 4-year anniversary, whatever I'm calling this. 4 years living in Finland, and this is the good. Now, I want to say something before I get any further into this video. My experience, I'll put it to you this way, okay? In that previous video where I was talking about the bad, okay? Number one, I was having a really, really bad day. And not that all of what I was saying was untrue, but I wanted this channel to be different in that I didn't want to use it the way that I used to use the Undertaker Freak channel, which was just a way to obtain quick catharsis and complain and rant and rave. I wasn't even being informative in a video that was leading people to believe that there was some kind of actual information. I gave you information on my personal experiences. That's it. Bottom line. It is in no way, shape, or form indicative of the experience you will have or a billion other people who may come and go in this country over the next however long this planet is livable. Basically what I'm saying is, nothing I'm saying is a general rule. I am very lucky. I am much better off living here in a country that has universal health care, even though it's flawed. Has much better infrastructure, where I feel safe. That's kind of changing with the Putin going absolutely, yeah. But I don't want to count my chickens too fast on that one, because it's I don't even like to think about it. But I do generally feel safe. I just need time, I guess. I rewatched that video, and there was just this air of which I was talking about Finland like I resent it. I don't resent this country. This is a lovely country. It's probably not my forever home, for sure. Like the whole endless summertime sun and endless wintertime darkness is something that just, it fucks with me really bad, and I 4 years in, but it just seems that I wasn't being informative. So I'm gonna try to be informative as I can with this video as I drive home, about the things that I feel are good about this country, and whether it was when I was living in Helsinki or whether it's living in rural Finland as I do now, there are plenty of really good things about living here. And I think first and foremost, as an American who had a shitload of medical debt and who at any given time was in danger of going bankrupt because of medical debt, I have to say that I really appreciate any country that can get people universal health care. Basic bottom line. Yes, medicine could be cheaper. Yes, the public sector could be a little bit more robust, but overall, it beats the living snot out of, do I get my medicines or do I have dinner this week? The roads. Everybody complains about the roads. I come from Michigan. Everybody complains about the roads, the big potholes. Oh, that guy pothole every friggin' springtime in Michigan, and any time in between, really, because the roads are really bad in Michigan. They're bad here in some places too, but where Finland and other European countries with really high tax rates differ is that they get to the potholes a lot quicker than they ever got to them in Michigan, and I'm very appreciative for that, because I don't know if any of you remember this. It was a long time ago. I shared a photo of a pothole that was right outside my house in Michigan, that about this big, big gaping pothole. 9 months later, I'm leaving the house, and there's the pothole, and they did fix it. They addressed it in a very Michigan American way, they put traffic cones around the pothole. Didn't even fill it in. So infrastructure, healthcare, safety, these are things that I do not take for granted. The nature, I mean, of course, there is plenty of nature in Finland. There's plenty of nature everywhere. And in Finland, there are some rhododendron parks in Helsinki, and there are some places where but you can only have flowers for so long in a place this far north. So yeah, it's a lot of trees, but hey, scientists said taking a walk in a forest is good for you. It can help you sleep. Science says taking a walk next to a waterfall, if you've got a waterfall near, or a park fountain, just the mere presence of the waterfall and the park fountain can help you feel better. So whether the nature is big blooming vibrant flowers, or whether it's birch tree, coniferous birch tree, it's nature, and it is something that people here take seriously, and I'm very appreciative of that, especially living as we do on a planet such as this right now. There are plenty of people who just don't give a fuck. They drive big gas guzzlers, and they got the smokestacks, and you know what? Fine, whatever. I used to drive past them and want to flip them off and yell at them, but I'm really trying not to be about that life anymore. And that's ultimately what I, on a personal level, appreciate the most. And this is something that not everybody's going to be able to relate with. Another good thing, the sugar content in soda here is so much lower. 330 milliliter can of Pepsi, I think, is 36 grams of sugar? Or is it 36 milligrams? I can't remember which, it has to be milligrams. If you are in America, go grab a can of Coke or Pepsi or whatever you have right now. Look at the back and look at the sugar content. And it's pretty much the same for food, too. And they don't use a whole hell of a lot of high fructose corn syrup. And food safety standards. This is a big one. And this is really important to me. Food safety standards in Europe kick the living shit out of the US. Period. I'm talking in every conceivable, in the quality of the food that you get, and the emphasis on not wasting food just because it looks a little wonky or doesn't look so good. There's a lot of emphasis on growing your own food. Even in the city, even in Helsinki, you'd find these big, gigantic communal patches where people would grow stuff. I forgot what I was just talking about, because there's something out in that field that caught my eye. Hold on. Right, it was food standards. Yeah, and there are no petroleum-based dyes in food. Look at the back of your Doritos bag and look at how they color their Doritos versus a European Doritos bag. They use spices like paprika. They don't use petroleum-based red dye number whatever. So that is also something that I'm very, very grateful for. But above all, on a personal level, this is what I was getting at. I found the strength and the courage through somebody here to really re-examine the way that I live my life. And I'm not even talking about with my food choices or my entertainment, anything like that. I mean, with my depression, all of the trauma that I have put off, and all the excuses I've made, I feel that despite recent events, mentally, I'm in a much better place. Much better place. Way better than I could ever dream of experiencing in the United States with their mental health care, the mess that is their mental health care system, healthcare in general. Sure, there are a lot of ways that could improve here too. And it does feel like the tide is turning a little bit when it comes to subjects like burnout, when it comes to subjects like overwork, when it comes to subjects like depression and expressing emotions. It feels like there is a bit of a tide turning there. If nothing else, because of the pandemic, and people started realizing that they should probably value this short amount of time they have on this planet as much as they can without being worked to death, you know. Those things can absolutely improve, but on a personal level, I am so goddamn lucky that I came to this country and ended up with somebody who cared about me enough through thick and thin, through the good times, through the bad, through the worst of my behavior, through the best of my behavior. And of all places, Finland, where you know, you're told that people don't care much about feelings, and I found someone who more or less, even though I've done the work and they more or less helped me realize that things needed to change. And not even for their sake necessarily, but for mine, because being bitter, being angry, responding to things so negatively and harshly is just getting really old, getting really draining for myself and the people around me. And I reached a point in my life where I found that, yeah, that was not going to fly for much longer. So it's a lot of hard work and it's a struggle, but it's a struggle that I welcome, because it's a different struggle than the struggling of the previous 30 years of my life. And this struggle, at least I feel like I'm getting something out of it, like I'm improving, and I can look at the world with, you know, something other than brown colored glasses all the time. By brown, I mean poop, not, you know, I wasn't making a racial statement. But there's a lot of good here. It absolutely still is not for everybody. Definitely not for people who enjoy seeing more than a few hours of sunlight in the winter time. But that video I made a couple of days ago, it could have been better. It should have been better. I am better than that. And if I am to keep this channel going, I guarantee you will get content that is better than what that was, which was just grieving. Just me grieving, and all I needed was a subject. It didn't matter. So, yeah, I'm just, there's a lot more that I could say, and if you have any questions about, you know, I'm not very well traveled since the pandemic. I've been at home a lot more, and I haven't been getting out and interacting with people. I really do need more human interaction in my life, but it's a little hard here. But if you have any questions, I'll answer to the best of my ability, because I know this video wasn't what I intended it to be. It wasn't like here's a nice list with some nice bullet points and transitions, but I hope you realize what my overall point is, which seems to be, wherever you are in this world, unless you absolutely have no choice, I mean, just I don't even need to try to sound motivational. Just try to make the best of it as much as you can. And sometimes it may not be that where you live is bad. It may be that where your brain or the area inside your brain, you might need a change of perspective, or you might be depressed. Far be it from me to diagnose strangers with platitudes. But anyway, I hope you all have a good day, and go Tigers. And that's really all I got to say for now. Have a good day, folks.